Dove and Baba, they're the local residents here on the farm. It's midsummer here in Melbourne and I really want to come up with a salad. So we're going to head into the carriage, see what they've got. They've got amazing produce from the surrounding farms and also what they grow themselves. So we're going to go in, see what they've got and come up with something super delish. So what's cool about this place is probably only about 5% at the moment because of new owners is grown here, but everything is coming from the surrounding towns. So it's all like literally coming from the farm next door or the farm over. So it's really, really close, keeping it local, keeping it fresh and just delivering amazing produce to the local residents. Okay, so we're just back from the farm and I've got my produce ready to go. We just need to cook the beetroot, so I'm going to do a puree and also cubed. That's going to go through a dressing, so we're going to have some acidity in there. Then I've got some fresh fennel, apples, parsley, chicory, which is whitloaf, and a little bit of goat's curd, and then we're going to pair that up with either trevally or mackerel as an oily fish. So let's jump onto the beetroot and then we can do the rest of the elements.
My body never known. You know my body never known.
Okay, so I've got all my elements together. All we need to do is cook the fish. So there was no trevally and there was no mackerel. Hey guys, you haven't got trevally, do you?
No trevally.
Yeah, either that or like a mackerel.
Yeah, no mackerel.
So I ended up with a piece of kingfish. These are my cubes, and then when I squared it off, all those trimmings, they went in to make a puree. So I put in burgoo and walnut oil, so it almost like cooked in its own dressing and then just blended it. So what I'm going to do with this is we've got some liquid in the bag. That's pretty much going to be the dressing that it's been sitting in. We put some cardamom, ginger and cinnamon when we brought up the verjus to the boil with the sugar. So that's going to be the dressing element to it. Maybe we can add some oil afterwards just to, it will actually give it a nice look and also just add a bit more oil to it. So I've got some parsley picked, so we're just going to jump in and cook the fish. So as you saw, I went to the local fish shop and basically there's no trevally and there's no mackerel. So when you're buying it from a store here, it actually comes from New South Wales and there was a cyclone last week, so there's basically just a shortage on those too. But if you're able to spear, then you can actually go out into the bay. Most likely you're going to work it on a night dive. So at the moment I can't do that, so I've managed to get some really nice kingfish and we're just going to put that straight into the pan. So this is one piece that's been cut into two, so that's why one is much smaller than the other, because it's just where they go together. And we're just going to pan fry those in the pan and then put them into the oven just to finish off cooking it, get the skin nice and crispy, and that is it. So the normal way I would do it is to put some butter in there and baste it, but because it's for a salad, we're not going to do that, so everything else is really, really clean, so I don't want to add that fat element of butter when I've got the oil from the salad. So we're just going to cook that and then we'll be ready to plate up. This pan is a bit warm, so I'm just going to put a piece of baked paper in there, and that's basically going to turn it into a non-stick pan. Just put some of this on the flesh side and then they can just go straight in. So it can actually go into a cold pan, and then when it starts to seize, they've got some little slits on there, so that's going to help prevent it from curling up. So we're just going to hold those in place until they relax and then they can go into the oven. So if we just take a look at this, you see that it's starting to get nice and crispy. So not much longer. That piece is looking nice. So you can basically turn the heat off and then we can go straight into the oven. So that smaller piece of fish is going to be about 3.5 minutes, and the other piece we give an extra 1.5 minutes, so 5 minutes total, just because it's so dense and that little bit bigger. All right, so the fish has just come out of the oven. Just going to hit that with a bit of lemon juice, just to bring it up, give it a bit more acid, and then we are ready to plate. So I think the black one will work well. Just going to take the top of this fennel off, and then what we can do is we can just, with the mandolin, just get some really nice thin slices. And then I've got my beetroot, running out of space. Two types, got my fennel, my chicory. So with these, just take out the outside layer, get rid of those, and then I'm not going to use too much of this because it's quite bitter. So we can just cut these, and really just want to use that nice top part of the leaf, but we can also use the lower part just to, so we're not wasting anything. And then some apple. So the apple you want to do at the last minute just because of oxidization. So, and I'm thinking wedges for this one because we've got the really thin fennel. So we want to have some crunch to this part. So you can just drop in and then just smear it across the plate. We're going to start with the white bits at the bottom, just so then anything that goes on top, you're going to have more contrast. Stick the apple in. It doesn't all need to go on at the same time, you can mix it up. So these are the nice cubes. So we can just drop these in. And these have been soaked in that dressing that has the spice. So we're going to put a decent amount of beetroot because the beetroot really is like the hero of the dish, and then we can just build that up as you want, and it will give it some height. And then you can drop over some fennel. So we're just building it up, so it's not all layered as ingredient over ingredient, it's all mixed in together, so when you eat it you're actually going to get some different bits of flavour and sweetness. So, and then I've got some herbs, so they can just, let's go with smaller pieces, and that is it for the salad part. I've got my goat's curd. Just going to do a nice squirt of this, and then just grab my piece of fish and place it on top. So that is it. That's my hero beetroot salad with, in the end, ended up being kingfish. It looks pretty good, I'm pretty happy with it. So I hope you like it too. If you give it a go, let me know how it goes down below. Until the next one, happy cooking, and I'll see you in the next video.